So this is a follow-up to my last video regarding this group of people that are trying, and not that they're not doing anything wrong. Don't get. It's just just sharing an opinion. I think a lot of it is false, and it's based in this research of psychedelic leaders of change, and this has been around since 1986. Okay, so here's some of my concerns. One is, you legalize MDMA and this ayahuasca that people, first of all, if you need to use something to help you gain enlightenment, then in my opinion, then it's not a true enlightenment, but just my opinion. But there are studies that have been done with using psychedelics with PTSD, like on vets, and vets have said, but I don't know how strong it is. I just could see this at as I said in my last video, one of the problems we have is this wanting to escape everything. So I feel like because these people are globalists, I don't trust any more than I trust the science right now. Because the science got on board with the globalism. The whole, Green New Deal, all of that. So this is the founder of maps.org, which I found this by going to Marcus Aubrey's website. Okay, it's all tied to this same thing about transcending, and when we transcend, we'll have peace on earth. It's just so, but yeah, the awakening. Our founder, Rick Doblin, has his first experience with LSD, giving him a glimpse of the profound connection between heart and mind made possible by psychedelics. Okay, so if you need to get stoned to have, I'm not saying people, I mean, I know people, I mean, I've never done LSD or any of that stuff, but I've seen people back in my younger days, okay? Yeah, they're often like, oh, the colors, and I'm off here, and I'm off, okay, but it's a false enlightenment. It's a false connection. They will swear that they have, but then I see them, they're very phony because like with Marcus Aubrey, he's able to recognize, there's all these problems in the world, but let's not focus there. Let's all get stoned. Like, I mean, I get it in a way, but that's not going to help anything. Okay, and honestly, I think psychedelics, and I know vets struggle with PTSD. I know they do. So I don't want to say that I would totally remove psychedelics off the table. Could you see it getting out of control? I think so, because people are looking for the quick fix. Now, I know that many of the vets that have used the psychedelics, it's usually after therapy, nothing else works. I don't want to say for every illness this is the case, but there hasn't been enough where, some things you have to struggle through to get to the other side of it. Again, I don't want to make that argument for everything. However, like schizophrenia, stuff like that, but some of this trauma, like the women that I've mentioned that I took care of back in 2018, 19, 20 at Northwestern that were out of trafficking, they couldn't be on any controlled substances to go into those homes. That any of them, like Subutex and Suboxone, those are used for heroin people that are addicted to opiates, and they're considered a treatment. Okay, there's so many times I get people in, they want to detox off of that, and it's like, but that's the treatment you're taking. And the problem is, and I sometimes I'll say it, but usually people aren't. The problem is you have to work through it. You can't, and too many people, I'm going to go on this, it's going to help, and then maybe it helps for a year, whatever, maybe not even that long, and then they're back in looking to come off of that because they're still feeling the same way. That's because they're not getting to the root of what it is. And in order to get to the root, you do need God. That is the spiritual awakening. I mean, every recovering alcoholic that went through Alcoholics Anonymous, and there's millions around the world, even though the science continues to write papers about how it's about this. No, it's a spiritual thing. It's not about people getting together in a room. I mean, that's one of the things that helps but it's working it's forming a relationship with God. That's where all the healing is. All of it. swear by it. I'd swear under oath. It's the truth. But part of that transformation is you have to go through some of the rough times. And we live in this world where people want to give you this escape that, no, you don't have to go through and dig and look at yourself or look inside and see where's the empty hole. And really where the empty hole is it's founders of Alcoholics Anonymous said it. It's a spiritual malady. It's a spiritual void. They were one was a surgeon, the other was a CPA. They both agreed on that, okay? Because they were back in a day when they put alcoholics in sanitariums. They didn't know what to do with them. And yet that was their only reprieve. And so that's the reason they sat down and they wrote the steps with help from a higher power. And again, they use higher power because of people that are atheist, and so that they can, because they know the true God will get them there. So that's the reason why it's not like, oh, you have to follow the Bible. No, you just need to be able to believe there's something greater than you. And for atheists, that can be like an AA group itself, but it'll change. I've seen that happen. So bringing this stuff in is just bringing more drugs to the table. Now, I'm not trying to be like, okay, I know a lot of people would want this stuff free, but could you see, or not free, I mean legalized, but there would be a whole lot of problems. So I just wonder why, well, no, I don't wonder. They're globalists. I think globalists, they want people dumb and stupid. And having you just gel out on some psychedelic experience or being in virtual reality or stoned 24 hours a day, well, you're not going to be fighting too much for, having sovereignty. A little bit more about MAPS.org. 1 year after MDMA is deemed illegal by the FDA, Rick founded MAPS as a research and educational organization with the goal of proving to the world and the U.S. government that when coupled with therapy, psychedelics were an effective PTSD treatment. Maybe in certain cases. I mean, who am I to say otherwise? However, I think they want it more than just, in certain situations. And then what happens when they're not on the psychedelic? I mean, I know there's all these different treatments they have in mental health, and there's people that I've seen that have done electric shock therapy when no meds would work, and it helps them, but it's because it wipes out a lot of their memory. Not a lot, but certain portions of it. But yet there's never, I'm not saying there's not enough focus on therapy, but this world we live in is very much about, nope, I'm going to go to the doctor, they're going to give me a pill, in 6 weeks it'll be better. No, sometimes you just have to look at what is going on, and people don't want to. And so I look at this as another way of running. So when I see people, let's bring MDMA, psychedelics, ayahuasca, and then I think, are you really trying to help people, or are you just trying to help people escape, and then it helps further your globalist agenda? So this is since 2017. In this historic 6-day global gathering, the international scientific community came together to share and discuss research for psychedelic-assisted therapy with over 3,000 attendees. Psychedelic Science 2017 featured simultaneous tracks of presentations by leading and upcoming international researchers in multidisciplinary practices. So I don't know why the science is going back in this direction. So, because they did do this, back in the day. Is this really going to help people, or is it just a way to help people escape, thereby not really helping them at all? And then also on MAPS.org, under the leadership of drug development expert Amy Emerson, MAPS begins focusing on clinical trials to study the effect of MDMA-assisted therapy on PTSD. So it seems to me it's more of a move backwards, but if it helps the vets, then I'm all for that. But being what this group is tied to, I don't trust them.